And losing somebody like that, I mean, it just really tugs at your heart. Up and down this hallway today, I've seen a lot of tears.
Okay, well, first of all, let's tell me about Lex. Personality.
Oh, you. It's a good kid. He started to work for us as a jailer, and just everybody loved him. You know, he got the nickname of Big Love, and so I don't know. I'll tell you a story here why he's called Big Love. There were a couple of jailers back there who were being accosted by a larger inmate, and so Big Love, Lex Love, comes around the corner, and it's all on videotape. He's on the corner, and so this guy's kind of backing off those two jailers, and Lex comes around behind the guy, just gives him a big old bear hug, and lifts him off the ground, and he's kicking his little feet, you know, and Lex shoves him back into his cell, and so once we saw that, he came down with the name of Big Love. And so he's just a great kid. Everybody loved him. He has such a genuine personality. He's so kind and to the citizens, to his co-workers. You never heard a negative thing out of the kid because he just wanted to help others. That was his main focus in life, just to help others. It was a pleasure seeing that kid grow up here as a jailer, and then we got him straight out of high school. He worked in the jail a few years, and he went to work. He went to police academy, went to work for Decatur PD for a few years, and then he came back to Wise County Sheriff's Office. And I mean, when he walked through the doors, everything brightened up around here because it was Lex Love is back home, and he's just a lovable kid, 26 years old, and we just hate that we're losing him. And he you know, he's left a big hole in law enforcement in Wise County for his untimely exit of this world.
Sheriff, did it surprise you that he wanted to go to the academy after working in the jail?
No, not at all. In fact, he and I had the conversations because Decatur had offered him an opportunity, and we always have a little bit of friendly competition between Decatur PD. We want to keep our guys, they want our guys. And every now and then we get a Decatur PD, every now and then they get a Wise County Sheriff's guy. So Lex and I were talking about it, and he said that he decided he's going to go to Decatur PD and go to their academy. And I, you know, was really poking at him. Come on, you stay with the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Wise County Sheriff's Office, of course, the chief over there, and we talked about it back and forth. Good nature, you know, because everybody wanted Lex Love on their roster, you know, because he's the cornerstone. He's the center of the line, truly the center of the line. So it didn't surprise me a bit, and I hated losing him. But you know, we hugged him, sent him on his way, and then lo and behold, April this year, he says he wants to come back, and we welcomed him with open arms.
In the jail, he rose to supervisor?
Yes, he was a sergeant in the jail, and then he went to Decatur PD, went through their academy, and stayed with them a couple of years, had a good time there, and then came back to the sheriff's office, and we put that guy to work.
Yeah. Sheriff, can you articulate for us who don't work in law enforcement, how does losing someone like Lex, how does that hit the law enforcement family?
You know, that's a tough question. I've got plenty of answers to that, but I've seen it. I've seen it last night, and we lost one of our own. Not only ours, but Decatur PD, all the law enforcement in Wise County, Highway Patrol, they all recognize that Lex, even though our badges look different, they stand for the same thing. And Lex was one of those guys who could work from agency to agency, and everybody was proud to have him because they knew that he was going to represent their agency very well because he had that caring heart. You know, he was a true public servant, which probably led him to what happened last night because he heard there was an accident on 287 and he was taking a shortcut coming across 4421, a county road, and he was going too fast, but he was going too fast because he was wanting to help somebody. And losing somebody like that, I mean, it just really tugs at your heart. Up and down this hallway today, I've seen a lot of tears, a lot of sadness with guys and gals who are pretty tough because they see a lot of nonsense that really toughens them up. But when you lose somebody like Lex, when you lose somebody like Lex, it's hurtful, and it takes a while to get over it.
Yeah. Those two beautiful children, what would you say to them about their dad?
Well, you know, I said it to them last night. Of course, those kids, they really didn't know what was going on. It was like a family reunion for them. But I was able to speak to the father of Lex and the stepfather, not stepfather, but the father-in-law of Lex. And so I talked basically to them and to Mom how much we love their dad and how much he meant for this office. So it's such that they should grow up and be so proud of having a dad that was, even at the age of 26, he touched a lot of lives. And that's something that those kids can be proud of for years and years to come. Right now, they're a little bit too young to understand that, but they will understand it over time because we were not only talking to them last night, we're going to be talking to them in the years to come, because they may have lost a dad, but they gained 150 employees at the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Of course, we're not concerned about the sheriff's office, but we are concerned about that family because she's a stay-at-home mom, two precious children. So anything that we can do, donations to help that family and those kids as they grow up, there are a lot of programs in place, and we've been working on that to do anything we can to help that family. So anything along those lines would be greatly appreciated, not so much by us as we would be for the family. And those kids knowing that maybe they can find their way to college or pick a path that Lex would be proud of them to pursue.
Yeah, well, what did you say to your other staff, your other deputies?
There was a lot of hugging last night, not a lot of talking. You know, they see the face, and they know, and so I just hold on to them. And I hold on to them tightly and tell them how much I appreciate them, and that we will be better because of Lex Love. We've got to make sure that we do it the right way because that's the way that Lex would do it. Those are the kind of things, you know, it's personal, it's one-on-one, sometimes with a group. It was unbelievable how many people were at that hospital last night and how many people were at that funeral home last night. That's because they love Lex Love, and he's a lovable kid. That's a perfect name for that boy. 26 years old, and he's one of the best ones that I've ever been around, and I've been in law enforcement for 50 years.
What do you want the takeaway to be for people who see that car out front? There's flowers being added, and
Yeah.
people are writing in the memorial book itself.
You know, this is a forgiving and loving community, Wise County. We've seen it time and time again on different cases, and this is a very good example. People just coming by and paying their respects, and we try to go out there and catch as many of them as possible and tell them how much we appreciate them, the fact that they know Lex Love, or that they don't know Lex Love, they know of Lex Love, because when this is over, everybody's going to know about Lex Love, and we should all be like Lex Love. So it's the way these citizens respond to things that happen in Wise County, it makes me so dang proud to be their sheriff. It's been a tremendous, now almost 9 years, to see the caring faces and see the loving hearts of the people here in Wise County.